What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we're going to be doing a top 10 video for the running backs in the 2023 NFL draft class. And I'm just going to tell you guys this right now. This list is not going to be like any list you guys have seen from anybody else. It surprised me because someone who I had at number 2, talked to Broshmo about this before I started watching the running backs in depth, someone who I originally had at my number 2 spot didn't make my top 10. So it's going to be a little bit ridiculous, but this is what the eye saw. This is what the grading scale agreed with. And honestly, there are some really freaking good backs in this class. So if you see one that gets neglected, I'm pretty sure all of these backs graded out as day 2 backs. That's ridiculous. So this class is absolutely awesome. If you guys are new, like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that fun jazz. And before y'all start losing your minds, just have a little bit of patience. I'm going to be dropping scouting reports in a nutshell on these on my website, where you get to see the full grading breakdown. You get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's a 3-minute read for you guys, at max, maybe 5. That's going to be like a crazy long one, but definitely check that out. Link in the description below. It will be coming out. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, it is pinned to my profile, so you get to see which ones have already been uploaded. Let's get right into the video. Starting off with the number 1 guy. Did we have any question about this? This is Bijan Robinson here. He is an absolute freak. Honestly, he is a god on the field. Yes, I absolutely love Bijan Robinson. The only issue is he might not be the most fast in a straight line. Like, I'm seeing maybe like 4.5 flat, maybe 4.48. Like, still really damn fast. I gave him, I think, a 7 out of 10 in speed. Like, he's a legit threat. We're nitpicking here. The only issue is his ball security. I'm pretty sure he had 4 fumbles on the year. And then he had some drops and stuff. But I saw Bijan get hurt twice in the Iowa State game, including him having to leave at the end. There might be some durability concerns right there, but he's a perfect build. I don't like running backs over 220 pounds, just to be honest. And the reason for that is because we as humans have a tendency to potentially damage our internal ligaments and stuff, because they can only take so much. You can only strengthen ligaments so much. So the more pressure that you put on them, with the more weight, the more strength you have, the higher risk of injury. So if you're under 220, that's kind of where I feel a lot more comfortable with your longevity in the NFL. Hopefully the injury concerns aren't there, but honestly, just watch Bijan Robinson. I watched the Iowa State game because I wanted to see how he performed when he had like a 90-yard game. That was one of his worst. And honestly, he was freaking awesome. He was. I purposely did not watch the Oklahoma game because I know that would have been like just absolutely cherry picking. So I watched the Oklahoma State game as well. Guy's just so damn good. He is. And there's going to be a phrase I use during this video. It's called momentum. Momentum is where you're pretty much driving through, like where you transfer the energy to the defender. The defender doesn't do it to you. Like, you push the defender back when you hit him. And Bijan has that. Not many guys in this class have that. So big fan of Bijan Robinson. I think a team like the Eagles could absolutely want to take him to be a true bell cow running back. Again, you guys are very run centric, and getting someone like Bijan, who is just used to taking that workload and used to being the commander of that offense, that could really push you over the top. Again, I already think the Eagles are a Super Bowl caliber team if the quarterback talent plays well enough. With Bijan Robinson, that almost secures that. Again, I don't like the Eagles. For people who think I like the Eagles, I don't. My best friend is an Eagles fan. It's my job to hate them, but I'm a realist here. That's what I do. So again, I think that would be absolutely awesome. Let's go to number 2. This one was a big surprise for me. Deuce Vaughn, because I see him on some lists. He's pretty low, but yeah, I mean, 5'6", 173. I mean, I weigh almost as much as this guy. Granted, I'm 3 inches taller, but regardless, Deuce Vaughn he's just so good, man. The real thing is that he's a really damn good athlete, and he's a good route runner as well. So he's a good receiver. That's why he graded out almost as well as Bijan. Again, when pretty much like 40% of it is based off of athleticism and being able to be a receiver, which is required in this game. I think that it's pretty fair to say that he deserves to, be boosted up into that category. He has really good vision as well. You see him be able to pick the right holes all the time. And overall, I mean, for a guy who's 173 pounds, apart from the fact that he sucks at blocking, he's pretty damn good. He does everything that you could want for him. He even lowers the shoulder from time to time. So huge fan of Deuce Vaughn. Huge fan. He could break tackles like a mofo as well. I think a team like the Falcons could be trying to get obviously you see how Cordero Patterson's able to play there. Deuce Vaughn is just super nifty. Again, that's another word I've kind of coined here. Nifty, and he's just super slick when he moves. It's just awesome. It's awesome to see a player who just looks comfortable with the ball in his hands. So Deuce Vaughn's an absolute baller. Love him to death. Number 3, Jamal Gibbs. So you guys are going to see from, I believe, like number 3 up to like number 6, the point differential is not much. And even from number 6 to number 10, the point differential is not much. So again, if you guys are like mad that some dudes at number 7 versus number 3, you realize that maybe if they didn't drop a couple balls, they probably would have had a higher score there, and then they would have been number 3. It's like, it's that tight. This running back class is so damn good. But Jamal Gibbs is a monster, dude. I honestly love him to death. Obviously, he's just such a really good, whoopsies. He's such a good athlete. Honestly, he just, like, you see him in a straight line. This guy just blows past people. He's super agile as well. Change of direction off the charts. And I mean, he's really good with the ball in his hands. I love him. He can slip tackles as well. Again, this guy is the real deal. And, you know, he sometimes picks the wrong hole or just goes into the one that he's assigned to. I wish he had a little more patience and a little bit more comfortability seeing the field. Again, he was at Georgia Tech, so I don't really think that was the best situation for him. Now he's transferring to Alabama. It's going to be interesting to see how Saban deals with him. But also, Jamal Gibbs has had a little bit of security problems. Not that much. Again, it's more of a nitpick than anything. I think a team like Kansas City, who's continuing to try to find that true difference maker at the back position, could honestly use somebody like this. And don't take the team projections too seriously, guys. It's fun. It's just there to see, like, hey, at this moment, this could be kind of cool. So number 4, we got Eric Gray. This was my number 1 graded back out of last year. I put, he was eventually my number 2 because I loved Bryce Hall to death. But Eric Gray, I mean, people are thinking like, oh, this guy's a scat back. Look at his weight. He is 3 inches shorter and then 8 pounds lighter than Bijan Robinson. I'm just saying, this guy's a beast. I love him to death. Again, there we go. Nifty, slippery. Like, when you watch him move, he is just comfortable. He's a smooth mover, and he's able to slip off, like, people slip off him. It's incredible to see. No one's talking about this guy. He's going to be I was big on the James Cook hype train before it ever even started last year. Like, I was James Cook hype man. I watched the videos. Honestly, I loved him to death. I like Eric Gray a lot more than I did James Cook. This guy is an absolute beast, and he's not going to have Kennedy Brooks to take those carries from him. Again, we'll see if he can hold up to that. That's the only issue with him, is that I said frame is an issue. Honestly, screw that bullet point. Again, 5'9", 206. He doesn't exactly have the power, so he doesn't use his frame the way he should. Regardless, if he's able to take on a full workload there at OU, my God, he's going to be insane. He stayed healthy, so that's good for him. Ball security, again, he barely ever fumbles the ball, and he's overall just a really well-rounded player. So I think a team like the Texans, when you have Dameon Pierce there to be kind of like your power man, Eric Gray could be an amazing scat back. And doesn't even have to be a scat back. Look at his weight. This guy could be a true 3-down back. People are just totally neglecting him. 78.5. Again, he technically is RB3. It's like 3A, 3B. But I do think Jamal Gibbs is going to be taking that tick up. Number 5, Blake Corum. People are probably going crazy. They're like, why the hell are these guys above Sean Tucker? Above all these guys? You'll see. And literally, it's down to 0.25 points. Regardless, if Blake Corum can stay healthy, my God, this guy's a star. He is extremely powerful, he's a damn wrecking ball. You see him, this is a momentum runner right here. He pounds into the defense and they move back, and it's incredible. He's 5'8". I mean, dude, shorter than me. And he's just able to absolutely annihilate everybody on the field. He's a really good athlete overall, but again, you just see him. It's that power that makes him special. He is able to charge up and just completely transfer his energy. And he doesn't exactly have the best vision in the class. Again, Michigan's not known for that. Zach Charbonnet looked crap when he was at Michigan because he just hit the hole every single time. Yeah, he had a couple 100-yard games with 3 touchdowns, but that was after 35 carries. I think that Blake Corum could take another step up as well, as long as he stays healthy. This guy is really well-rounded. And again, you look at the projections on this class. I'm not saying these guys are going to be round 4, round 5 guys. Legitimately, I think there's one guy who I have in here is round 4. That might have been Eric Gray. I didn't even pay attention to that. But Like legitimately, this running back class is stellar. Last year's, you saw how high Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker went. I don't think they could touch this class. No, Breece Hall could. Breece Hall could. I love Breece Hall. But legitimately, these guys would be third rounders. And these guys might go above them. So those guys, whatever. English is a bitch. But, Blake Corum, absolute beast. Number 6, you got Devon Achane. Again, you guys will see how this is all broken down. But Devon Achane's a stud. He is. And if he's able to actually pick the right holes and actually break tackles, this guy's going to be just on another level. He's tested at 4.24, and he's a track star at A&M, and A&M is like the top school for track. So this guy is 9 out of 10 on literally everything. And he's a really good receiver as well. His frame's a bit of a concern, and obviously he's not going to be a 3-down back, but when you look at a team like the Ravens who are able to maximize Justice Hill, I think Devon Achane could just be absolutely dominant for them. And for his size, you'd think that he'd be dropping more balls, fumbling a little bit more. No. And you think that he'd be knocked over really easily. No. Just really good. I just want him to have more than just guys slipping off him because he ran past him. I really want him just to slip more tackles. So I do think that someone with that speed, with that just potential, is definitely going to be a round 3 target for teams. This guy I absolutely love. I love Sean Tucker. Again, receiving ability. That's what drops his score. It is. And you have to be more well-rounded in the NFL. Now we are going to an RBBC format. That's good. That means that Sean Tucker has a role in this NFL. Regardless, I think Sean Tucker, I love Sean Tucker. When you watch him, he's another momentum runner. I wish it was a little bit more often. He was inconsistent as a momentum runner. But regardless of that, he actually doesn't have elite speed. So Broshmo has him as his number 2 RB. I don't know if he put that video out, so RIP Broshmo. But again, you look at the difference between him and number 3, it's 3.5 points. So if he improved his receiving skills, that alone could probably get him close to that number 3 spot. That's who I was referencing. But Sean Tucker, man, look at his frame. Great, 5'10", 210 pounds. He is super smooth moving. He's able to process while he's moving the ball. He definitely belongs in the top tier of this class. He needs to work on his receiving ability. Guy does not catch the balls very well, has quite a few drops. Also, he just needs to be able to be comfortable blocking a guy. I think that for him to be in the role that he needs to be, you need to kind of just, I think he should be a 3-down back, but you need to improve your blocking. You need to improve your receiving ability to actually be worth being taken that highly. That's why I don't have him being worth a 1st-round pick at all. And technically it's just worth a 2nd. So, crazy shit, right? Regardless, Sean Tucker's super well all around. I do like him. Again, just improve the receiving ability. Be a little bit better as a blocker. And this guy's going to be an absolute stud. You watch the Clemson game, it's like, holy shit, this guy's amazing. So definitely like that quite a bit. He has excellent burst, excellent change of direction. So definitely think he's going to be a great guy. I think he can definitely improve his stock as well. Now, number 8, Ulysses Bentley IV, out of SMU, now Ole Miss. So it sucks to see him go, but honestly, SMU didn't even want to use him. We used a guy named Trey Siggers, and there was just no reason on earth that we should have used him. No disrespect to Trey, but Ulysses is just on another planet compared to him. Like, you could just tell how inefficient our offense was when we didn't put Ulysses out there. And, he's just super smooth overall. The only issue is that, he just isn't elite in anything. His vision's really good. He's a smooth mover. He can break tackles too, but it's just, he's not elite. That's the only issue. He's just not special. But again, I think that as long as he gets healthy and Ole Miss, he's going to be with Zack Evans. And lo and behold, I know my next slide is going to irritate the hell out of me because it should have an Ole Miss on it. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. And I already know somebody's going to comment it down in the comment section below. But I think a team like the Chicago Bears could really use Ulysses as a combo back. And yeah, so Zack Evans does not go to TCU. RIP. He used to go to TCU. He transferred to Ole Miss. I literally recognized that as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh, man, it's going to gut me. Regardless, so we're going to really see who actually watches the video here when they try to come at me for Zack Evans at TCU. Regardless, he's at Ole Miss now. This guy's a baller. Straight up, I love him to death. Again, when you don't see an elite athlete or a receiver, that's why their score is going to be lower. I think this guy could definitely jump up to the top of this class. He looks like an elite running back. I really do like him. And like he's able to slip tackles. He's able to see the field perfectly. Even though I saw him in the run game. He blocked for, I think Max Duggan? Regardless, the quarterback there. He's actually sealing the edge for his quarterback. I find that phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of Zack Evans. I think a team like the Buccaneers, who are just randomly patching the running back position every single year, could definitely use somebody of Zack Evans' talent. I really, really, really like Zack Evans. Again, he's still a good athlete. I give him a 7.5 on speed. We're just nitpicking here because his class is that damn good. This is the year where running backs will actually go higher. And you might say the supply demand situation. The problem is we didn't have a great supply last year, so the demand is increased. So maybe we're going to see about the same, but at worst, these guys are going in the third. At worst, because of the fact that, again, we didn't have a very big supply last year. So now we have a new increased demand, but we also have an increased supply. You guys know the deal. If you guys did economics, I think that these running backs are absolutely stellar. Let's end off this list properly without the TCU being there. Zach Charbonnet, my former buddy at Oaks Christian. So yeah, he's a UCLA Bruin, former Michigan Wolverine. He's a monster. He is. I thought he was going to be honestly a first round pick. He was like, dude, I'm going to go in the mid first to the Cowboys. That's like what we used to talk about back in high school. But ignore the fact that I wore high socks with long ass shorts. It was a time. But Zach is just an absolute beast. You see him, he's just an old time running back. You just see him pounding the guys. Momentum back. I love that about him. He has the best ball security in the class. I would not trust anybody more than him in college football to carry a ball and not fumble it. So I think Zach, as long as he continues to figure out his role, the sky's the limit for this guy. And I think a team that has someone like Alvin Kamara, who's worked really well with 2-back sets, like with Melvin Ingram in there. Obviously, they had Latavius Murray, but Latavius Murray is no Melvin Ingram and Alvin Kamara. Zach Charbonnet could be an absolute monster. Again, he hits that 220 mark. That's as high as I really want a running back. Injury concerns, there might not have been any recently, but I know that Zach had foot surgery when he first went to Michigan. So that's honestly it. He kind of just needs to be a little bit more well-rounded, but again, he's the best blocker in the class too. This guy could really be a stud if he continues to develop the way he wants to. And let's address the elephant in the room. Tank Bigsby's not on this list. He's number 11. Actually, he's number 12. That hurts because I had Tank as my number 2 running back coming into this draft. I watched him and he was a shell of himself. I watched multiple games because I was like, this can't be true. Can't be true. He looked better earlier in the year, and that's why I gave him credit for it. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But he's not an elite athlete. I didn't even see him exactly have the best vision. And that really hurts. And he's not the best receiver. He just wasn't the best in anything. And he went down really easily on contact. I didn't see him actually break tackles. I saw him versus Penn State. He couldn't get out of a tackle from Joey Porter Jr. He trucked him, but then he couldn't break the ankle tackle. It was time and time again where I was like, no, it can't be true. This can't be. Tyon Evans scored higher. I like Tyon Evans. But again, to be honest, if we're going to be frank with each other here, I have him graded out as like a round 4 back. So whoop-de-doo. But these backs above him have really unique traits, and all of them are honestly really good athletes overall. Again, like the guys who I say aren't elite athletes, they are elite athletes, just not compared to the other elite athletes in this class. They're all scoring 6 or 7 and above, which means above average to like NFL/elite caliber. This class is really good. You guys have to pay attention to this class because I really do think that quite a few of these guys should return for the 2024 class. Like they are pretty much, most of these guys are the top backs if they end up returning. I know Zach should have come out this last year. I think he could have been a 2nd or 3rd round pick at worst. Regardless, that's going to be the video, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, always being there to support me, and I'll see you guys on the far side. Peace.